Well, hello again. Thank you for joining us. Here we are as we're getting ready to start week 3 of our study of Not a Fan, and also looking through just different Bible verses that relate to the theme. So hopefully you've read all these verses through this last week, and you've read chapter 3, and we just kind of want to summarize what we've read and where we are, and then we'll proceed to what the assignments are for next week.
So the topic today was this week was on the difference between knowledge and intimacy, and how they're not necessarily the same thing. We can know a lot about something, but not be intimate with the person, And I don't know about you, but having been in the faith for several decades now, I found myself going, oh yeah, I've done that and I've done that. The Bible studies, the vacation Bible school, Sunday school, all the ways we gained knowledge. And so I thought, first thing we should do is test someone on the books of the Bible in order. Did you do it? Did you try to do it?
No, I didn't try to do it.
Okay, try now.
No,
you're going to take a deep breath and see if you can do it all.
I don't know if I can do the whole.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. Here we go. Ready? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings, 1st, 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st, 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st, 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd and 3rd John, Jude, Revelation.
Oh, you didn't? You almost.
I almost made it.
Okay, everybody, practice up. That's going to be your test next Sunday. No, but seriously, I was takeaways for me from this week is that I do believe that is the difference between a faith that's going to go the distance is intimacy with Jesus. We can know all sorts of Bible facts, but that's not going to help us when the bottom falls out of our life, when something really difficult happens, or when someone hurts us, especially someone in the faith, or we have church hurt, or anything like that. Is not going to, Bible knowledge is not necessarily going to be what carries us. It's going to be intimate knowledge of Jesus. And when, questioned about it, we can just know his character. We can know his heart. And the woman in Luke 7 clearly did. Yeah,
and I think that's the key is, as we read Luke chapter 7, along with all the other passages, but Luke 7 specifically, was here you had Pharisees, the religious leaders, who welcomed Jesus to have dinner with them, and their response and how they responded to Jesus was not anything special. But yet this sinful woman, she had heard of Jesus before, she had seen what he had done, and her obligation and her response, I guess, to him is one of worship, and that she would weep, and that she would wash Jesus's feet with her own tears and with her own hair, and that she would take this perfume that she had, and she would not just use a drop of it, but she would give it all up for Jesus, because she knew that Jesus was someone that she needed to have a relationship with, and that he was the one that could change her life. And she dove into that arena, not just into knowing about him. Where the Pharisees and these other religious leaders knew a lot about Jesus, but when they saw him, they didn't recognize him as the Messiah. She did.
Yeah, and then when the author kind of turns the tables on us at the end of the chapter and says, in the end, the religious leader with all the knowledge is the fan, but the prostitute who intimately expressed her love for Jesus is shown to be the follower. And then the question, who am I most like in the story? I think this is one of the reasons I love this book, is it brings us back to what matters. It's a book that should be read regularly to remind us, and for us to take stock of, where are we? Am I just a fan, or am I a follower? I met with a young woman for counseling this week and asked her about her faith and asked her to define her relationship with the Lord. And in the end, it became clear to her and to me that she was more in the fan category and not the intimate, didn't know his heart. Her questions over his sovereignty and his kindness and how he deals with suffering and all of those things. I saw the angst of her not knowing where to land. And I thought, it's because you don't know his heart. You might have grown up in the church and you know these facts, but you don't know him. You don't know how much he loves you. And so I was a fan for some time. In fact, I shared a little story with her. Can I tell a little story?
Sure.
Do we have time? Okay. Little story was about prayer, because we said we were talking about how, you can ask God for anything. You can come to him in prayer, and she told me some things she asked God for, and I kind of snickered to myself when he didn't answer according to how she needed him to in order to believe. And I thought about when I was coming to faith in high school, and definitely in the fan category, I would not study for certain tests of subjects I didn't like, and I would ask God in prayer to help me pass the test, even though I put in zero effort and zero, I needed a miracle. So God help me pass this geometry test. And he never showed up on that one. And it was just, it was a head scratcher for me. And I thought, is he real or isn't he? But now, of course, we know that the prayer God is looking for is, come and ask me for more of me. And that's the one he wants to answer. He's out there saying that one of the huge theme of the Bible is, I want you to know me. He already knows us, but he wants us to know him. And that's for sure the follower.
Yeah, so I think our wrap up for this week is just that idea. Don't be confused and take that just because you have facts or knowledge about God, that you actually have intimacy with him. He is looking for us to have an intimate relationship with him, and that's the key. It's a relationship. This is not religion. Religion is tied into facts.
You'll get more points for
and there's no more points for doing this.
Not even for doing the Bible,
not even
Bible
for doing
books
that,
in a row.
I
You get extra points for that.
But intimacy with Jesus is what we're looking for, and we're praying that would be how we develop in these coming weeks, that we would become more intimate with Jesus, that we would know about him and have this relationship with him deepen, and that would impact our lives and the lives of other people as well. So continue on with us. You'll see just the upcoming study in just a moment, what you can do this week, and we hope that you continue to join us and grow with us into a deeper and more intimate relationship with Jesus. We'll see you next week.